Hi everyone, a very good morning. Welcome to, of course, Carnation Crafts and our TV show. Welcome to our studio. Welcome to what has to be the most eagerly awaited collection of the year. It's the same every year. Christmas, launched in June, is always one of the most popular collections that we ever do. And each year we bring it out of the park again and again and again. And Carnation this year have exceeded themselves. Already, I've got to let you know that a quarter of our huge stock has gone since we teased you with this last night on our Facebook Live with lovely Carla, who's here today, and Taz is here as well. We're all here to bring you Christmas Awaits for this year's festive season. Just look at this. This is glorious. You've got the most amazing fireplace. You've got the staircase with the kids just waiting to go downstairs to see what Father Christmas has brought them the night before. This is all about the anticipation of Christmas, the excitement, the joy in the kids' faces. And then when you get downstairs, go into the lounge, you see the most incredible Christmas tree decorated to absolute perfection. This whole collection is just joyous. It really is. Now, I've got to let you know about the vignettes, because obviously whenever you buy a collection like this, you expect to get the vignettes or the artwork for the collection for free from us, and you do indeed get the original vignettes free if you go to the website carnationcrafts.co.uk. Having said that though, Nick and the team and the whole gang have put together a further 4 colorways. So if you want to go for that, you can buy those colorways for just £5. You get the original one free, but if you go for the other 4 vignettes, 4 colorways, it's just £5. So in other words, for an extra £5 onto your order, you could then have 5 colorways to enjoy with Christmas Awaits. And just go to carnationcrafts.co.uk, go to downloads, and then go to free downloads, and you'll see the artwork there. So
just type in Christmas Awaits and then it will pop up because it's £5.
okay, so yeah, type in Christmas Awaits in the search box and then up it will pop, and then you can choose to either just have the free download or pay £5 for the extra 4. Now let's look at the collection again, and then we'll show you some finished samples in a second, because it's got everything you could want to make the most beautiful Christmas cards for your family, for your friends, or to sell. So over here, firstly, you've got the fire surround, you've got the stairs, you've got the amazing staircase, you've got the little chandelier light in there as well. Then you come on to the fully adorned, all of this wonderful festive foliage. You've got poinsettias in different colorways, beautiful ornate corners. You've also, of course, got these incredible ornate slender frames in the diamond shape, in the rectangle, and also in the oval as well. Further down, the icing on the cake for me, the true focal point of the collection is this most beautiful, beautiful decorated tree. And again, you get various other elements that you can, of course, decoupage onto the tree and make it 3-dimensional. Then in the middle, you've got your cute characters of the robins, and you've also, of course, got the cute characters of the kids. You've got one of them that's fast asleep, one that could be sat maybe on the stairs, waiting for the all clear from mum and dad to go down to open up their presents. And then the final selection of dies just there, you've again got wreaths and so on, and you've also got a couple of stockings there too, and of course the wrapped up presents that could be around the bottom of the tree. I've just got to show you a few finished samples before we say hi to Carla and look at the boards in a second. This one was done by Lavinia, who's taken the main tree and made it a 3-dimensional tree, and we got tiny lights on there as well, which we have in stock at the moment. The lights go down. How beautiful is that? Can you see the lights all right? Yeah, there we go. Beautiful. So that's just using the tree as the main focal point. And then when you build the scene, and these are scene building and storytelling dies, look at that. Stacks of presents at the bottom of the tree, the staircase up to the side of the fire surround. These beautiful frames, I'll show you those in a second, because that's another part of the collection that you might want to go for. And I'll just show you this one. You can make them 3-dimensional scenes with the vignettes, of course. The little child poking their head around the tree to see all those beautiful presents. And then if you want to make a more traditional shaped card, you can then, of course, use the elements in lots and lots of different ways. I love that cute little character perched on the staircase. Really, really cute. Now, another die set that we've got in the show for you, the Winterberry frame. We'll come on to that in a minute, and that's actually used to great effect on this one from Janine Dawson, who's made that card. But aren't they just gorgeous? Lovely Carla's here, Taz is here as well. Message in, we'd love to hear from you if you're watching us on Facebook or watching us on YouTube or whatever. But remember, if you want to order it, It's 240601. That's the all-important item number. There's stock available at the moment, but already for a quarter of the stock to go, with just a little Facebook tease yesterday. It's £134.99 with free UK P&P. If you're watching this in America, you can, of course, order yours. Your P&P will be £4.95. And, of course, if you want to add the perfect papers into your order, then the P&P will be capped at £14.95 if you're watching this in America. In the UK, though, free P&P for you. We have got PayPal Pay in 3 as an option if you want to spread the cost of this as well. But pop it in your basket now. It's the most eagerly awaited collection of the year. It always is. It doesn't disappoint. It works with the collection we had last year beautifully well. What if you're expanding your Christmas collections from Carnation? Happy Christmas.
Happy Christmas, lovely face. Are you all right?
I'm all right. How are you?
I'm very, very, very well. A little bit of a cold, so please do ignore any sniffing. I apologise. We are Christmas. We are here. Carnation have thrown it right out the park. This is stunning. You guys are about to make some of the best Christmas cards ever.
Yes.
I love this collection. Christmas awaits. Well, we've all been awaiting Christmas from Carnation, and here we are. Let's look at the boards. Let's see what you're going to get. This is just awesome. For those of you who joined us on Facebook yesterday, you've had a sneaky peek. For those of you who didn't, well, welcome into the fold. Let's have a look at your ornate, slender frames. I'll just move that in shot a little bit more so you can see them better.
They're so graceful.
They're beautiful. Now, these are such a useful size. So what we've got here is obviously your diamond, your rectangle and your oval, and these are perfect for your Christmas presents. They make these really beautiful small cards, which I love, but each one designed with a card base, your mats, this stunning kind of filigree that comes along here. Now, if I just show you this example very, very briefly, look at that. Okay, so it's all done to perfection.
Stunning.
Now, you don't have to use them in those ways either. You can actually make bigger cards from them too. So we can use them instead as apertures or layers on our bigger cards. So actually, we start to create outside of the box, and that's what this whole collection is about. These beautiful layers that you get here with your sentiment strips already in the center, because Carnation don't waste space. So what we give you are extra nested elements on the inside of these. So create a way. Before you ever begin, they're giving you 3 card shapes. That in itself is extraordinary, and it's what makes this the most awesome Christmas collection. Can we just take a minute to take that in?
Oh, wow.
That, fully adorned, I think is one of the most incredible boards. And it does take you a minute to breathe it in, doesn't it? There's so much there. This collection is huge.
It's every colour and every flower you associate with the most perfect family Christmas.
Absolutely. So we've got these beautiful shapes here to create different stylized pieces depending on what you want to make. That can be the very clean and simple, or it can be the very, very sort of full cards that we like to adorn as well. It depends which style you go with when you're making. You've got your little cinnamon rolls, these stunning pieces, each shape carefully curated to make sure we get the best results whenever we craft with them, and they're stunning. Stunning. All the tuck-ins that you could possibly imagine, the wee bow here as well, decoupage elements or tuck-ins depending how you want to use them. We always try and give you that option. We try not to force decoupage in the same way maybe that other people do, in that you've got to build it a certain way. We give you those tuck-in options that can be used as decoupage. Foliage up to the hilt. We can create the most awesome blooms. That, my friends, is a board to remember. That is your fully adorned. From there, we move on to your grand surrounds, and I love this. I love this. Now, the first thing to note is that you are going to get a vignette that creates your warm fireplace glow, which fits perfectly behind the fireplace itself. You've got 2 choices of colour here. So for this whole piece, you've got the choice of the gold or the sort of dark colour here. So it depends how you're crafting, doesn't it? That comes in because the banisters for the stairs are in the darker colour, but they do give the option, oh, you've got the gold on the clock, but the 2 options for your variants in your candelabras. You've got your banisters coming down for your stairs. Now, this is designed in a special way. We can have the stairs facing us, or we can pop this piece over the top. So the stairs are coming down. We've got the idea of that sweeping staircase. Why? Well, because this whole collection is about breaking the silhouette. And I'll explain that in further detail as we go through demos, but it's all about breaking the silhouette. So if I'm going to start with a card that is, for instance, a 5x7, I can start adding additional pieces that come off the edge of that and break that silhouette, which means we create stunning pieces because we have these beautiful over the edge elements that come off the card, and this is the most extraordinary example.
I've just been told, Carla, there's over 150 of you in the ordering process right this minute for this. Everyone wants the new Christmas collection when it comes out in June, so grab yours now. This is the first live show of the day. There's 2 more at 11 and at 1, but is the stock going to last? That's what we always wonder.
Well, we will see now. The star of the show, and it is called the star of the show. That is some incredible design work.
That's the ultimate Christmas tree. The focal point of everyone's home is the tree at Christmas.
That's stunning, isn't it?
Yeah.
Now, can we take a moment just to look over on this side where you've got this line coming up on both sides? This is designed because the Christmas tree will bend inwards if you want it to. Doesn't have to. And when it's in its full piece like it is here, you can't see those lines, can you? They're not obvious. They are there. If you want to bend it back to create different shapes, you can, which means what we can do is then start folding it upon itself to create a 3D element like Lavinia has done here. You can also have it so that it bends round. So if I've got a flat card shape, it will bend round, and I'll show you that. But we come into some clever elements. It wouldn't be Carnation if it wasn't engineered. We pride ourselves on that. We pride ourselves on being the forerunners when it comes to engineering dies. I say we, very loosely, Nick. But I'm happy to put my name there as well. It's nothing to do with me. So we have got these elements here. This piece that you see has got 2 slots on either side. This piece will feed through those slots, and that will fold into a box. That allows your Christmas tree to stand forward away from the card base itself, and this piece, which is a floor, will come out of the sides. Okay, and now as that happens, I can then place some presents on either side, maybe a Lily sleeping. I can do all of those things, and I can break the silhouette. I can change the shape, the fundamental starting point I can change. I've got my little star to go on top, which looks glorious. I've got tinsel and I've got Christmas lights. I've got extra flowers to decoupage up, which look amazing. And I can also use the extra fern pieces to build it and build it and build it. This is stunning, this bow.
Yeah.
Hold on, I'm going to sneeze. No, I'm not. Okay, you've got this extra long line bow here, which then has your decoupage elements. Again, it can be used separately. So I can build that bow and I can start to shape it out, and that just looks stunning when it's over the Christmas tree. You wait till you start playing with this. It's insanely clever.
I mean, Carla, that 3-dimensional one that I just gave you,
Yeah.
I mean, that could actually be, when you have a dining table full of people, friends, relatives, whatever, that could be place settings, couldn't it?
Absolutely. And the amount of
People's names
alphabet dies that Carnation have given you, where you've got options to play with those things. Some of those vignettes we've had before where you can type in your own information on the actual PDF and then print, you would be able to use those as name settings as well. So we do provide you with all the tools that you need. From there, we have got your excited, I love this, excited for Christmas. I'm one of 3 girls. I've got 2 sisters, and this just really, really reminds me of when we were little. This would be me asleep, this would be my middle sister Gemma, and this would be my oldest sister Samantha, and that is absolutely appropriate for what used to happen on Christmas Eve, and I love that very, very much. She's so sweet. She couldn't stay up for Santa. She fell asleep. This one's eagerly awaiting, but she is just sneaky peeking around. And this one, she's just all for it. She's full excitement.
That would probably be 5 o'clock in the morning.
Yeah, literally,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
3 if it was us. Then you've got your robins, and if we just take a look for a moment at the family of robins and how they're appearing. So we've got them facing in different directions, which is just really, really sweet. They're just gorgeous and floofy and beautiful. You see them here? And then you've got the ones in flight. Are they holding the sentiment up? Are they sitting on the Christmas tree? Are they Christmas decorations? Are they sort of sitting on the fireplace? There's loads of different ways we can play with the robins. And robins, again, are obviously signs of Christmas, but for some of us, they are also signs of something more sentimental. So you have those in your kit at a wonderful size to put on sympathy cards and various other things as well. So please do remember that we extend outside, and you've got lots and lots of options when you're playing. And we've finally got your seasonal touches. Look at this. That's magnificent, isn't it?
Isn't it gorgeous?
Isn't that stunning? We've got your stockings sitting here waiting for the fireplace. So they can be hung on the fireplace, on the banisters. You can hang them on the tree. You can do you. We have a wreath, which is beautiful, absolutely stunning. And then these gorgeous elements, which will either sit adorned on the fireplace, or you can seat them on the banister. You can do whatever you please because they're lovely as a topper for a card. If you have these placed at the top of a card base with the wreath in the middle, they're stunning. So all your elements are there. And then we've got the rug. And this sits at the base of the fireplace, maybe at the base of the stairs. Remember that long wood panel we've got with the Christmas tree? This sits on there. It's the floor. It builds up that scene. So once again, I know this is Christmas and I won't harp on about it, but if you take into account things like comfort of home, collections like that, where it is a home living space, we're now mixing and merging. Christmas Awaits is an incredibly important Christmas collection. It's Carnation. It was always going to be the best. It's absolutely incredible, and you guys are going to have the most fun. This is the night before Christmas.
And having talked to loads of you at shows and whatever, you always say to us, it's the Christmas collection, that's the one that out of all the collections you must have in your Carnation collection. It's going very, very quickly as well. I just want to show you this with the stockings because you can have a bit of whimsy and a bit of fun, a bit of tongue-in-cheek humour with it as well. Rather than having the stockings hung at either side of the fireplace, I think Santa may have got stuck.
He may well have done.
Stuck going in, stuck coming out, I'm not quite sure. Now, before we move on, I just want to show you this card because this really does, from Barbara Treadwell, show off the next die set we've got for you. Now, I know an awful lot of you are going to want to consider this as well because we've got for you the Winterberry frame. Now, this collection is stunning as well, that rectangular frame which can be used portrait or landscape, but you've also got elements there which look like mirrors or frames for mirrors, so they could be used in conjunction with the fireplace. If I just show you here, for example, on this card from Janine, you can see that that frame, that arched frame, has been used to create what looks like a fantastic mirror over the fireplace itself. So they will work with this collection beautifully well. You've also got some fantastic, beautiful sentiments on there as well. There's even artwork and vignettes for the sentiments too. So you've got Joy to All, 'Tis the Season, and Merry Christmas. They're in there as well. The whole thing is £44.99, but look at the detail in that berry frame. Absolutely exquisite. And again, the vignettes for that you'll find on the website as well, carnationcrafts.co.uk. Look at this one. It's got a beautiful gold Merry Christmas on it, but then that lovely berry frame behind it, absolutely exquisite and magical. Gorgeous. So it works. It's the perfect add-on to go with the main collection today if you want Winterberry. 240608 is your item number for this frame set, and it's £44.99 today. Why not add it into your order with the main collection, Christmas Awaits? That would work together so beautifully well. I think I've just showed you this one. I'll show you one more. Barbara Treadwell's done this one. Just very, very simple, white cardstock as a background, but it really lets all that artwork, all those vignettes pop. Tina has done this one. Isn't it spectacular? And it will work, obviously, portrait like this and also landscape like that. But for this case, it's portrait. Really, really lovely. And again, the artwork, the amount of detail in it, exquisite.
Absolutely stunning, of course, but it's clever. Again, we engineer. So this is never designed just to be one card-based. Carnation tend not to play with those rules. We tend to try and break them as often as possible. We have your card base here, then you've got your mats, and then you've got your stunning, stunning filigree, okay? Now, when you first look at this, what your first instinct is, oh, this is the handle for a handbag or something along those lines. It's actually much, much cleverer than that. So when I show you the die, if I show you on this piece, can you see there's a white line going in the center, and you would expect that to be a cut line. It's actually not, it's a separate die.
Oh.
Okay, so when I bring this in, that's a separate little die on the inside, and this is because we cleverly engineer. And the first time I show you, I'm going to cut this in a way to show you it differently. We know what filigree looks like when we cut a panel, and that's exactly what it looks like. Let's change those rules. So Nick has designed this in such a clever way that we suddenly have a million more options, and that is profoundly important for us, isn't it? We want that, especially at Christmas, because we might be making 200 cards. You want to be able to craft differently each time, and so we've got every single option for you to play with, and I love it. And this creates the most beautiful shape to cards. So instead of just having, let's talk about the filigree first. instead of having the filigree as a rectangle here, I can actually have an archway on the top of it. I don't have to have those two corners. Now that would be the same for card bases. I don't need to just do it on the filigree. I can actually do it on the card base. And that, for any card shape that you've got from Carnation that is roughly that same size, you can do this with every single card base you've ever bought from Carnation that's that size. That is where we start getting cleverer and cleverer with a simple die, and I'll show you that. That's the first thing I'll do. We'll start cutting that for you so you can see it. But it doesn't end with the Winterberry frame there. This is a huge piece. So you've got all of those elements, but we then have these stunning sentiments. These will come to you in two colourways. You can see them on the board there. You've got the gold, Merry Christmas, but then you've got the gold and black where it's got this almost drop shadow colour to it at the edge, and it's stunning. Now remember when we had a look at the Fireplace and we said there was two colourways there where you had the black grate and the gold grate. This is where this comes in, because if you're using the black candelabras, for instance, and the black grate, then you're going to have the choices here with those silhouettes, the sentiments, sorry, to have that black element to it as well, or go with the whole gold. It is extraordinary, and I will say this is going to be, because it's not particularly Christmassy, if I look at this, we're doing Christmas today, so obviously we're looking at this with the eye of Christmas, aren't we? But actually, if I brought this out and I said to you, this is the Summer Cascades collection and this was in it, it wouldn't be out of place.
No.
This is not a Christmas specific. It's wonderful for this collection.
But it works alongside it beautifully.
It works alongside it. Grab yourself your Winterberry frame, pop it into your basket. You will not regret it for a minute, and when I start demoing how to use it, you'll understand the absolute scope you've got for this.
But it's all about, of course, our brand new Christmas launch this year, always eagerly awaited. It's very, very busy. Lots of you putting it in your basket and checking out. I must say, before we get into demo, which we'll do very shortly, the Christmas Awaits Perfect Papers. Now, just lately, we've been bringing you some very, very lightly decorated perfect papers. Today, as you can probably see, the pattern is actually a little bit more prominent. You've got lots of flourishes, snowflakes, that sort of thing, but the colourways are the most important thing, because colours that are going to complement and work with the vignettes and the artwork are what you've got here in the perfect papers. You've got that lovely kind of mulberry colour, the pale fawns and greens work beautifully well, so you've got the block colours and you've got the patterned cardstock as well. 48 sheets in total, 300 GSM, but it's the perfect combination to work with your vignettes and your artwork for Christmas Awaits. So there it is, 240609 for £14.99 if you want to add those into your order today. But do remember, 30% now of the entire collection has gone. And remember, the gang at Carnation, as soon as the order is placed on our website, carnationcrafts.co.uk, will be picking it, packing it and posting it same day. So you might even get it tomorrow. Taz?
Well, Jill has just messaged in saying that she's had a message to say it's on its way.
Wow.
We like them apples.
We do.
We do.
Nice one, Jill. Thanks for letting us know. That's how quickly the team will literally get your order, pop it in an envelope and then send it out to you. So you won't have long to wait for it at all.
Jill might have that tomorrow.
She might do. Yeah, absolutely. And of course, the vignettes are there for you right now. The artwork you don't have to wait for at all. Just purchase it today. And while you're there, just put in, of course, Christmas Awaits in the search box, and then all the artwork will be there for you. One of them is free, as we always give you when you buy a collection. But there are, because it's Christmas, an extra 4 colourways, which you can have for £5. And that gives you in total then 5 different colourways of artwork for the characters, the little children, the Christmas tree and everything else. So it's there for you if you'd like to pop that into your order if you choose. Okay, how do we use it? What are we going to make with it?
Right, before we actually get to that, can I just give a little nod to everybody who's putting stuff in their basket? Grab your tiny lights.
Oh yes, absolutely.
Carnation have got them on the website, then grab your tiny lights. We need them at Christmas for Christmas card making.
Especially for the tree.
Especially for the tree, but there's so many in this one as well. So the fireplace looks beautiful if it's lit up. There's lots of different ways that you can play with them. Please do grab your tiny lights, don't forget them. Right, let's have a look at this stunning Winterberry frame. And the reason I'm coming in with this first is just to make sure in my little head that I've remembered to show you how to use it. So I've got this archway sitting here. I'm going to pop it onto my mat, and you want to try and get it as straight as possible. I will say it does work if you do it that way. There is still enough room, but for demo purpose, I am going to use just this sitting in the center of the page. Now, it doesn't matter if it's not perfectly straight, but you do want it as straight as you possibly can. It's usually a better idea to just tape this down. I will show you that. If you're using tape that is kind of, you know, low tack tape, just still make sure that you just get rid, I'm just doing this on my jumper so you can see, just get rid of some of that tape because you don't want it ripping your cardstock. Now I'm going to place that just on here and just outside of the main die piece so that if it does rip, it's not affecting where I've cut it, and I'm just going to hold that in place. So with that in mind, I'm going to cut straight through this. I will forewarn you that when I get to the filigree, my mats are horrendously bent.
Overworked, probably.
Overworked, and consequently, if it doesn't go through the whole filigree, that's on me. But I want to show you how to do it. So this is just going through. Really simple to use, but really effective.
Just think of all the joy that you're going to have using these collections in the months running up to Christmas. It's probably Christmas that we make more cards for than anything else during the year. Birthdays and Christmas, it's the two main things, isn't it? So to be able to have all this artwork, have all these wonderful dies and shapes to play with on the run up to Christmas, it'll fill you with joy every time you're using them.
Absolutely. So now I've got that shape cut, so it's like a smiley face almost. You could actually pop a little tongue out of there and make a different card shape, but that's just my little brain doing the things. Right, now let me look at my winter berry frame. This could be anything, so it could be the card base, it could be the filigree here, and it could be any other card bases that you've got that are this size. What I'm going to do is pop this so it seats. See where the lip is here? I'm just going to pop that to the top, and then right at the edge, just here and here, I can kind of just see where the original cut line was, so I can see it, and that's going to make my life super simple. Let's bring in the cat, and let's just put in a wee bit of tape. I'm just going to defluff that a little bit. I don't want it sticking too much, and I'm just going to seat it there to about there, okay, just to keep that in place. I don't want it wibbly wobbly and about. So once I've done that, I can place that on top, pin it, and put it through. Now, as this goes through, what's going to happen is where that corner element is, because I've already cut it, it's going out. My electricity's gone, Dave.
Uh-oh.
Hold on. This plug is the bane of my life. 1 second. Is that done it? The joy.
Let me wiggle it.
Dave, you wiggle and a jiggle. What'll happen is, let me get it out of here and then you can see it. Just 1 second. There's always a fallback. So I'm going to show you it in demo anyway. Ooh, well done, Dave.
Got it going.
What
Wiggle
happens
works.
is, where that cut line was, I now have this. So where that smile line was in, it's cutting that away for me. So I now get this beautiful archway. Now that could be a card base, that could be your mats, your layers, or your filigree. And again, like I say, on any frame that you've got. Thanks, Dave.
That's all right.
So as it comes out, it'll just take those corner pieces away as you pull it from here.
I knew Howard's here for a reason.
He's very handy as our Dave. So you're just going to obviously release that from the frame. If I take a pokey, get rid of these. Can you see how my corner's coming away? Just there. So as I pull it, you can see the line where the corner is. Watch. Okay. Now as I turn that round, can you see? I've formed my archways coming through. And that's going to be the same on both sides to allow me to have a completely different shape than if I was working with the full panel. Now that's so important. So as you can see, there's the archway. It's obviously missed there when I did know my boards were a little bent. I do apologise. But that gives me that full piece, okay?
That's
so
stunning.
That's so clever and is so versatile for every single card that you make going forward that is of that shape. Can I just hand you those, Dave? So as you start your crafting process, it's never just about Christmas. We are taking you further than that, and it's important. It's important for crafting.
Well, like you said earlier on, that particular frame there could be for any season of the year. It doesn't scream Christmas at all, does it, really?
No, not at all. It depends what you put on it. It could be the mice. It could be, you know, anything else. It's not so much about that, but the fact that you have this beautiful archway, because aesthetically that's so pleasing, isn't it? But what we don't want to do, and what Carnation are really proud of, is we don't want to take away your options, because Carnation could very easily just have given you the archway. We chose not to. We choose to give you different options. And that, how clever is that? Just one piece of engineering. So an extra little die that allows you to cut in first and then your corners get cut away. That's so clever.
It's the extra thought and detail that Carnation give, which other companies just don't. That's what you're getting with Carnation. That's why so many of you love the brand and love the range as well. But it's our Christmas launch today. Very, very, very busy indeed. You're loving it. Remember, the focal point, Christmas Awaits, has to be that tree. And like Carla quite rightly said, take advantage of the tiny lights. If there's a collection that really benefits from having the illumination, like this card that I showed you earlier on, it's this one. Take a little look here. Look, isn't that amazing? So add your tiny lights in. They're on the website, and you could be decorating the tree, putting them around maybe the fire surround. It's entirely up to you. Okay.
Right, should we make a card,
Let's
Dave?
do it. Let's
should we
do
do a
it.
card, Davey B? Right, so I am using that Winterberry frame and I've cut it twice. As always, we're just going to score it 1/2 inch, pop your red liner tape on, and let's shuffle this together to create that card base. It's beautifully designed with those sort of bubble edges. I really love the bubble edges that Carnation do. They're very, very pleasing. Shuffle those together so I've got them in place. Hey up, have I done that yet? Just 1 second. And once you've got them in place, I think I've got the smaller one there. Right, so you've got your card base all set to go. Let's create Christmas. I love the fact that we're creating Christmas. And honestly, the weather at the minute, it seems entirely appropriate that we're creating Christmas, doesn't
Too right.
it?
Driving up to do the show yesterday, I drove up. It's like 4 seasons in one day.
Oh, it was ridiculous yesterday.
At one point, someone turned the lights off, and the sky and the cloud were just absolutely black.
I know, and
Crazy.
it's sunny at the same time as raining. Nothing seems to work the way we want it to. Right, for this I'm going to use a little piece of wet glue. Now, tiny amounts. You can get the wet glue from Carnation's website, www.carnationcrafts.co.uk, and it's an everyday glue which has got a very low water content. Why do we need that? Because we are working with very delicate filigree, and so you don't want it splodging out. I can get the applicator to put the glue exactly where I need it. Look at this. Look at that. Put some foam tape on that and look at your shadow play.
I love white on white, always have.
Now I'm going to lay that flat in, okay? And that's going to just seat. Oh, you're a wonder. Thank you, Miss Taz. She's brought me a drink.
And she brought me my tablet because I left it downstairs by mistake.
I've now got that beautiful, look at this. That's so pretty, isn't it? And so clever. Now, if you want to take this and use it away from Christmas for a different type of card, then you absolutely can cut this in white and it just gives you a different frame on top. Please do look at all of your options when we're playing with stuff with Carnation. It's never one thing, it's always options. Let me place that down. And just pin that in place. Look how pretty that is. So gorgeous, isn't it? Really, really sweet. I'm just going to shift my drink. Apologies to everybody. It's just so I don't choke on you all on air. Let me just add a little adhesive just to pin that there.
We had a question actually from Kate Scobie. The vignettes for £5, is that just for today or will it stay at that price?
Only this week.
It's for launch week.
Launch week, okay. So thank you, Kate, for the question. And she says, doesn't need saying, another fantastic collection.
Of course.
Thank you, Kate.
It's never in question, is it? They're clever. Right, I've got my Fireplace vignette here. So as it stands, it's that warm piece and it's a square. It's cut so it fits the fireplace exactly, which we love. So all I'm going to do is mirrored vignettes. It doesn't matter which way I place it. I can then pop that down. So just smaller elements here. Pin it in place.
Where else do you get artwork, even for the, you know, the centre of the fire surround? It's beautiful.
They're so clever, aren't they? Right.
Look at that.
That's just incredible. I've put that on a 5mm because I'm going to sort of raise it up a little bit. And it's so, I love this fireplace so much. It's so versatile as well.
It looks like carved granite or something like that.
It does.
Incredible.
Let's place this on top so that we're covering the whole of our workings there.
That could be a fire surround in a stately home or something like that.
Like my home, Dave.
Yes, I was just thinking that.
Right, from there I've got my little clock sitting here. Look how cute that is. Now I can choose to place that on the front or just on the back, depending where your foam tape is, doesn't matter. It's just about how you choose to craft. I'm going to just show you, and it will mean turning this over, so it might be slightly ungainly, but I'm going to put some on the feet of the clock. Pick this up. place it where I've had my foam tape, remember, so I've got a raise, a lift, and then I can just pin it to the top of my fireplace and it will just sit forward. So I've got that 3D element, which is just so clever and so wonderful to have. From there, I've got my little fire grate. I'm just going to bend mine over slightly so that I've got that roll on it so that it sort of sits upright, and then wee amounts of adhesive just on these side panels. Place this in, just pop it that way, and then I'm going to take my wee pokey, push and push. That's going to continue to give me my 3D element. Just by placing those ones down, it'll just keep it rounded so I get that beautiful shadow behind it and also the sense of it sticking forward. Never be afraid to play with those elements. Right, let's get into decorating my house here. I've got my candelabras. I can either place them there and I can place them on top of here. It can place them here. It doesn't matter. You can put them on the fireplace, whatever suits you. For the sake of this, I'm just going to place them just to either side of the clock. I love these so much. They're so cute.
Just been told as well, a third now of the entire stock of this brand new Christmas Awaits collection gone. You're loving it.
Of course.
No surprise.
As I said yesterday, this isn't any ordinary Christmas collection.
No.
This is Carnation's
do you know what,
Christmas collection.
I see what you did there. But it kind of follows on from that spectacular collection of last year because it's a different angle to Christmas to that.
But it still works with it.
It does, yeah.
Because if you've got the Santa from Ready for Christmas yesterday and the Christmas tree from this one,
you're sorted.
That's something else, isn't it? Right, let's break this silhouette a little bit. So to do this, I'm going to bring in my staircase on each side. Now look at that. What did we just do? We changed the image completely. That's a very sweet little fireplace, isn't it? Suddenly, I created a room. Okay, we're breaking the silhouette. It's a really lovely effect. Just pulling this all the way along. I'm just going to seat that just underneath my layer, my matte layer. Use my pokey to have it pinned into place, just like so.
Lovely.
Now let's extend it again. You can have it one side. We've got mirrored vignettes. For those of you who've never used Carnation before, just A, where have you been? But B, you're going to have the most fun. A mirrored vignette means we have got an image both on the back and the front of our die cuts. So we are provided with free artwork, and that artwork allows us to cut in such a way that we have an image both on the back and on the front. So we can double our money.
Which is a bit groundbreaking when you think about it. Now you've got a left staircase and a right staircase.
How incredible does that
It
look?
looks amazing.
I love this collection so much. Now, I've got a Little here, and she is just sneaky peeking. So what I can do with her is turn my card the other way around, and I can take her, pop a little bit of adhesive on her little feetsies, just here. And then I'm just going to pin her so she's sneaking through. Remember, we've got a mirrored vignette. So when I turn the card around, she's just sneaking through.
She thinks she can't be seen.
But she can. So from there, I've now got my little Santa
I think
stockings.
she's looking out for Santa, hoping to see him. That's what it is.
Aren't we all?
Oh, yeah. Thanks for all your messages on Facebook, by the way, today. Lots of you getting in touch. Yolanda in Holland says hello. Hello to you, Yolanda. Linda Wilson, morning, everyone. Karen Richardson, morning, all. Sheila Parry, morning, everyone. Fab Collection, Alison Ward, thank you for that.
It's just so beautiful, isn't it? Let's place these in. Seated there. And now we just build. So now this is where you start to take the fun. These blooming awesome florals, which I am smitten with. Do you want it on the side of your fireplace? Do you want it on the side of your card? Do you want it to be your overarching feel on your card? Where do you want to place it? Aren't they just
That's one impressive garland,
isn't it?
Yeah.
You would be quite the fancy pants with that in your house. Right, let's take this off. Again, I've got this on a 5mm. I'm raising it up. I just want to have a little bit of a lift on it.
Actually, Jacqueline Ward has said, I still think Carnation should do a tape dispenser in the shape of a carnation mouse. And a few other people agree.
I know, it would be impressive, wouldn't it?
Yep, Karen Slade agrees with that. Well, we'll pass the message on, Karen, see what we can do.
Well, if you were doing this card, this is nothing to do with the sellotape dispenser, but as the night before Christmas went all through the house, not a creature was staring, not even a carnation mouse. We could have a little wee mouse down here, and I believe that there is a mouse with a little Santa hat. There is the mice from Snow Much Fun, where you have them in carol singing poses and various other things. So there's lots and lots of ways of bringing the mice into this and having that little poem just seated on the side. 'Twas the night before Christmas, and then have the little mouse at the end. So super sweet to play with it that way as well. Let me build in some foliage here, and I'm not going too mad. I'm just going to just steal some of that white space from the corners just to bring the decoration through. How pretty is these tuck-ins?
Oh, gorgeous.
So important. Tuck-ins are so important.
And let's face it, we always love decorating our houses, love the atmosphere in the house when the house is decorated. Well, that's what you're doing here in card form, basically.
It's like being the master of your own. You know, because some of us have to let the children do the Christmas, because apparently that's what you're supposed to do when you have children, is let them have the fun of decorating the tree. And then you have to go in afterwards and redecorate it.
I'm not allowed anywhere near mine.
I'm not surprised, Dave. Also, what we were just saying about letting children near the Christmas tree, I'm not surprised you're not allowed near yours.
No.
Let's pull this in. Just building up some of that colour. So we've got that beautiful flourish that's coming out. I'm going to near enough leave it there, but I am going to damp it down with just a little white tuck in here.
Sheila Parry says, Carla and Dave, your demo videos are fantastic. It's costed me a fortune. Thank you, Sheila. Pearl Farrier, wow, nearly missed this, but here now. Hi to all the fellow crafters, Carla, Miss Taz and all. Suzanne Page says, I've got a fantastic hubby. Don't tell him. These let me have the whole lot. I love him.
That's
Brilliant
so
news.
lovely. So we're just putting in our gypsophilia here, our baby's breath, just to add in just a little bit of white, just to let it just breathe out. Now I have got a sentiment here. I don't know so much if I need to use it, but I'm going to bring it in because I want you to see as many pieces as possible. Each sentiment comes with its own base layer, and these base layers allow these sentiments to absolutely shine in the most glorious way.
I love it that it's included like a drop shadow.
I know, isn't it pretty? 'Tis the season to be jolly. Fa la 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 la.
La 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 la.
Look at that. So, so gorgeous. Now I'm just going to place this in at the base of my stairs, okay? So just to bring that in to just finish off that little card. So for this, to make sure that I get the adhesion exactly where I want it, and so it's not splodging out the back of my stairs, I'll just lay the adhesive just at the front. Place this inside. Pop that there.
Linda Wilson says, stunning, Carla.
Thank you. It's Carnation, not me.
There you go.
Break those silhouettes. Create something that just breathes.
Now,
These
there's
are extraordinary cards.
lots more demonstrations coming throughout the day today and tomorrow. Of course, whenever we do a launch like this, we do it over 2 days. Let me show you, though, in case you were late to the party or you've just switched on right now, this is the launch of the brand new Christmas Awaits collection. We always launch Christmas in June. This month is no exception, and what a collection this is. My thoughts go to the focal point of the tree. That's kind of the heart of the home for most people, where the Christmas tree is. That's where everybody gathers. That's where all the Christmas presents are put underneath the tree. But what you've got here is that day before Christmas, that night before Christmas, the anticipation, the excitement, the joy, not being able to sleep properly, getting up early on Christmas morning, all of those wonderful memories from your own childhood, but also maybe your grandchildren and your own children. Look at this collection. It's Christmas Awaits. The main part of it, as I said to you before, is the tree. You've got lots of elements that you can decoupage on the tree as well. Those dies are included too. The star is beautiful. 35% now of the entire collection has gone. This is the launch show. We've been on air for 45 minutes. Next to that, you've then got the cute children. You've got the one that's asleep. You've got the one that's rushing towards the presents. You've got the one that's kind of sitting behind the banisters, hiding, trying to see if Father Christmas has been yet or not. The robins. You've then got the wreaths and the garlands there, the stockings and the wrapped up presents. presents. And then to the top, as Carla was so rightly pointing out, these are particular card blanks. If I just show you, I've got a few cards here just to show you. I mean, this one is using the diamond card blank to great effect. So you can make really quite cute, quite small, minimal cards, or you can really go for it and make something very, very elaborate like Carla showed you a few minutes ago. But you've got all of these wonderful frame dies, the diamond, the rectangle and the oval. In the center, that is the stunning foliage that you've got there, the fully adorned as it's called. And then next to it there, you've got, of course, the hearth, the fireplace, the stairs and the banisters and the little chandelier lights too. All of this is our Christmas collection for 2024, and it's $134.99 today. That is a special show price. It will go up at the end of the week if we have any stock left. Free UK P&P, of course, as well. If you're watching us in America, which I know lots of you are, £4.95 is your shipping and handling. If you go for the perfect papers or anything extra like that, then the cap shipping and handling is £14.95 if you're in America. Now, the other die set that, of course, Carla used in that last demonstration as well is that one just over there, which is the winter berries. But as we've said, both of us have said, although it works with the Christmas theme brilliantly, there's nothing necessarily just Christmas about it. You're not buying something you can only use for a few months of the year. And then what I thought were originally handles, maybe to make a handbag out of it or something like that, they're actually the frames that you've got there as well, with the beautiful verses. And of course, all of the vignettes are there for you to print off for both collections. If you buy the dies, you can just go to carnationcrafts.co.uk, go to downloads and then free downloads, or just put in Christmas Awaits or Winter Berry into the search box and the artwork will be there for you. The only other thing to remind you about, and it's a really special treat this, you always get one vignette colorway free, nothing unusual there, that's what we always do. But today, for a limited time only for this week, you can enjoy the extra 4 colorways for £5. It's not £5 each, it's 4 colorways for an extra £5. A limited time offer only for this week, and then you'll have 5 different colorways to enjoy with the die sets if you would like to do that. And that can be, of course, purchased as an extra on our website right now, carnationcrafts.co.uk. Okay, and don't forget the perfect papers. Lots of you, as a matter of course, usually put the perfect papers in with your die sets because, of course, these are colorways that will complement the artwork, the vignettes beautifully. 48 sheets, 300 GSM, only £14.99. Okay, we want to get as many demos in today as we can.
Yes.
So back to Carla.
Let's try and get one more done. So I'm going to use the star of the show this time, which is the Christmas tree. That is actually the name of the die as well. So I've done my card base. I've got my mat on there. So let's put on a white layer here just so I can show you how to bring this together as well. That Christmas tree is divine. So placing this in the center, slightly smaller than my other mats and layers. So just to place in, okay, so I've created the frame. Those perfect papers, grab them. The colours are delightful. They go with this collection. Now, the extra piece that you get within your Star of the Show die is that long die that comes in. So you get the 2 elements and they are seated together in the metal. So if I just show you this one, and then you get this one, which is flat. I've already stuck it together, so it just scores all the way around to form a box. You can see where I've glued it in there. More importantly, we've got these 2 slots. Okay, Can you see? And that is so that this can piece in and it just feeds, she says, hold on, there and then there, okay? And that just feeds through. And I can glue that down if I want to, or I can leave it loose. It's entirely up to me. From there, I can then stick that to the base of my card and it's going to become my grounding device. It's part of what I'm making here. So the first thing that I'm going to do is keep this exactly where it is. And I'm going to pin it, so small amounts of glue here, right to the base of my card. So once I've got that in place, I can use my pokey to just make sure that is pinned right down. Now, what's going to happen here, anything that I stick on the top of this is going to protrude from the card. For posting, it just folds down flat. So I don't have to worry about it being in a box or anything like that. It's going to serve its purpose exactly. Now, it probably could have done with being on red liner, not going to lie, but still. Let's have a look at this tree. Just take this in for a second. Okay? Watch.
Hey, they think of everything.
I've got those cut lines. I can break that down. Okay? And now that Christmas tree is going to stand with its corners just backwards. That's going to give me a 3D effect straight away, still with my edges, but it's going to look fuller and it's going to look like it's fully adorned. Do you see how clever that is? So watch the illusion from flat to fully decorated and fully adorned. Isn't that so clever?
And also it gives you depth. If you wanted to put the little box for the tiny lights behind that, it gives you the depth to do
there's
it.
space to do it.
Yeah.
So now that that's seated, I've got another one here. I don't need the extra floor element with it, but I do need the height from it. So I'm going to place that slightly above. So I'll place it around about there. I will say at this stage, I do think you're better with red liner tape on here. It will give you a firmer hold. I am going to just seat this through. So I'll pop it about there. But my advice, use your red liner if it's there. So you've got that again, folding flat. Now I've got this wonderful base to place my tree on.
Perfect.
Okay, so it's 3D. Look at the shadow coming. We've got it lifted and I've got my floor at the bottom. That is the floor of my living room or anything else. And so from there, I'm going to stick the tree to this one. I can stick it to both. That's absolutely fine. Not a problem. But let's stick it down, A up, and just place. So all we're doing here is making sure that that adhesion has taken and that these are straight. No hassle there, not complicated and not difficult. We like easy Christmas cards. We like easy card making. It makes things easier for us.
But you want your cards, if you're selling them in particular, to really kind of jump out at customers. If you're at craft fairs, Christmas fairs, that's what these are going to do. If
you're making cards with Carnation, that's never going to be a problem that you have. They will always jump out because I proudly say, as part of the team, produce the best artwork. However, I don't actually provide any of that. I can't take any of the credit. Right, let's come through some of this. I want to put a little archway here, okay, just at the top, just to finish it off. We're framing round now. So the archway that before actually cut into the shape of the card, I'm now using independently as part of my decor. So I'm just going to put that through. If you think of a fringe on a face, we're framing it. From there, I've got my wreath. I'm just going to pop this in place.
Perfect.
Okay, so we're bringing down that line. Then I'm going to add in some adornment here, just at the side of there. So I've still got the illusion of it, but it's not dominating that frame. It's just part of my decoration. So placing this in. I do apologise for the sniffing. There's nothing worse.
Might be hay fever.
Lord only knows, Dave, at this stage. It's probably rabies or something. Who knows? Place that in there. Taz is looking at me. Right.
I don't think it's that.
Probably not, no. Let's take this. Look at these. See how they just bring in those elements? So we're creating this beautiful visual. Just adding in. Now you can decoupage to your heart's content here. We're going to give you flowers to decorate each of the florals that you see on here. We're going to give you fir to the fir tree. It's hard to say when you're from Yorkshire, to decorate up the Christmas tree itself. We're going to give you all of those elements so you decorate to your heart's content.
And tinsel.
Tinsel, you name it. Everything is here that you could possibly need. Now, what I'm going to do is just bring in my gifts here, my presents that are seated with that Christmas tree. Suddenly we're getting fuller, we're breaking the silhouette, and we're enjoying that point of difference.
I think sometimes the night before Christmas or the day before Christmas is actually even more enjoyable than the day itself. Sometimes the anticipation, the excitement. You know.
And I think for Littlies as well, it just gets silly exciting at that point, doesn't it? Like they're beyond themselves. I love their little faces, although now that they're teenagers, it's a little less dreamy than it was when they were
I bet they still
tiny.
get excited though, don't they?
Really excited, and Christmas Eve is our favourite day because we go and feed the homeless.
Oh yes, you do.
Which is something that has become a very special tradition with the boys and I.
Well, that's a lovely thing to do.
It's instead of pie and crackers, so it's
right.
It was them actually, not me, who said, "Can we stop buying crackers and can we start actually using that money for something more useful?" And
you
they
brought them up good, Carla.
I don't know about that, but they're wonderful little humans. Let's put this on. Now, let's finish this up. Let's just finish this decorate. Look at this. How beautiful. Clipping back, so I've got that ribbon, and I'm going to place it round, and I'm just going to plot it around here. Now for this, I'm going to use some silicone gel glue. I'm just going to get a little bit of lift on that ribbon.
And that ribbon would look good on the hearth or the fire surround as well, not just on the tree.
Everywhere. It's beautiful. Let's add in some extra decoupage here. So I'm just going to bring in my pokey, shape that round, pull it forward, shape that round, pull it forward. So I've got that, just that extra shape. Fill in.
See the difference that makes?
Just to add in that extra flourish. And I've got some Santa's stockings here. I'm not going to put them on, but I did just want to show, adding in to take a bit of that white space away. I'm happy with my white space. I'm not worried about it. But if you're somebody who struggles with white space, you can add those in just to take away some of that extra element. I'm happy with it as it is, and so I'm going to keep it the way I've got it. But I did just want to show you that as an extra option.
Isn't it beautiful?
So the same collection, two extraordinarily different cards, right? And that is the joy of Christmas Awaits.
The heart of the home, where the Christmas tree takes centre stage, in the lounge, in the hallway, wherever you have yours. Pam Simpson, I've just got to show you this card. I didn't see this one until literally a couple of minutes ago.
That's incredible.
But look at that, a 3-tiered card. That's absolutely magical. Tree on one, fire surround on the other, and that beautiful floral flourish in the front as well. And then if you're more of a traditionalist and you like to do maybe 7x7 or 8x8 sized cards, again, nothing stopping you using your conventional card shapes as well. Bringing in the winter berry frame, using that with the main collection, it's a perfect marriage. Turn it the right way up, Dave. Barbara Treadwell's done this one. And of course, the joy to all, and Merry Christmas, and 'Tis the Season. Those beautiful verses are included with the Winterberry frame as well. Let's do a few more over here. Let's have a little look at this one. I love the little girl poking her head around the banister down the bottom there. Has he been yet? Has he been? I don't think he has yet. No
I love
presents
that
there.
idea of cutting the fireplace in half to do it over the edge as well.
Yes.
Because
that
your
works.
imagination takes you further, doesn't it?
Lavinia did that one. Janine's done this one using, of course, those amazing card shapes that you've got, those beautiful frames, the diamond, the oval, and also the rectangular frames work beautifully. Here's another one using the Winterberry frame as a backdrop. And then here's another one that's got that panel in it that pushes the tree to the foreground. And then, of course, you've got the banisters in the background there as well, with the stockings hung on the banisters, the little kiddie's face kind of poking through the banisters there. So we've got this 240601, the brand new collection from Carnation. It's called Christmas Awaits. £134.99 is your price for this today. It will go up to £149.99. So it's a special price everyone can enjoy on launch. Free P&P if you're in the UK as well. And we do obviously take PayPal and PayPal Pay in 3 if you want to spread the cost of that. If you want the extra frame though, the Winterberry frame, which has got all year round capabilities, it's not just a Christmas die set at all, with those beautiful extra frames that you've got there and those verses as well. That's £44.99 if you would like that today, 240608. And don't forget, of course, your perfect papers, because that cardstock is just perfect to complement with the artwork. And if you are going to get the artwork off our website now, while you're there, carnationcrafts.co.uk, it's free for the main colour way, as it always is, but we do have extra 4 colorways available for you for just a capped price of £5. So provided you order it this week, it's a 1 week only offer, launch week only offer, you can enjoy 5 colorways in total, with a free one and the 4 for just an extra £5. Okay, so that's there at carnationcrafts.co.uk. It's nearly 10 o'clock, so we'll be back at 11 o'clock with more demos and more fun. Get involved with us on Facebook and YouTube as well, but take the break in between the shows to purchase Christmas 2024. Christmas Awaits. We'll see you at 11.